Well, we want to thank the press and everyone else who's here this morning for attending this signing and letter exchange ceremony between the government of Antigua and Barbuda and the People's Republic of China. As you know, China is one of our most important developmental partners, and we are exceedingly thankful for the kind of relations that we've been able to develop since 1982, when China and Antigua and Barbuda established diplomatic relations. The two documents this morning that we're going to sign and exchange confer upon Antigua and Barbuda the possibility of a feasibility study to actually examine the likelihood of success of the blue economy in Antigua and Barbuda. And the other side, the Chinese side, will provide the resources to conduct that feasibility study. And also, the second document pertains to the gratuitous grants that the Chinese government will make to Antigua and Barbuda over a period of time. And that amount exceeds $14 million US. It is those two agreements that this morning both Prime Minister Gaston Brown and Her Excellency Ambassador Zhang will sign and exchange this morning. And we say, let the process begin.
Thank you, Ambassador Hurst and Honorable Prime Minister Gaston Brown and Excellency Mr. Pilgrim and dear Mr. Merchant. It's really an immense pleasure for me to attend this signing ceremony for the social, economic and technical cooperation agreement between China and Antigua and Barbuda, and also the exchange of letters for the technical cooperation project on blue economy. Actually, I think this event is of great significance as it marks the new phase to implement the consensus reached between our leaders. It's also a concrete follow-up step to implement the outcomes of the fourth ministerial meeting of China and Latin American and the Caribbean countries forum held in Beijing in May. During the opening ceremony of the meeting, President Xi Jinping proposed to launch 5 programs of solidarity, development, civilization, peace, and the people-to-people connectivity. And all of the programs are aiming at advancing our shared development. So we are very glad that the ongoing cooperation projects between China and Antigua and Barbuda, like the housing, the agriculture, the solar equipment, etc., are all making good progress. So as we sign the documents today, we are laying the groundwork to explore and implement more projects agreed by our two sides, and also adding to the testament of our commitment to growing the relations between China and Antigua and Barbuda from strength to strength. So it is hoped that with the solid base on the principles of mutual respect, equality, and the mutual benefit, the cooperation between our two sides will lead to more development opportunities and transformative outcomes for people's capacity building, betterment of life, and the sustainable development of our two countries. So we'd like to work together more closely to build a community with a shared future and, of course, a better future. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Ambassador Zhang Yangling, and I'm certainly very happy to be here to sign this cooperation agreement between the People's Republic of China and the government of Antigua and Barbuda. This is yet another commitment extended by the PRC to assist the government and people of Antigua and Barbuda to build capacity in several areas. You recall that last year, first quarter of last year, I visited China, would have had very good discussions with President Xi and others in the Chinese leadership. In fact, Ambassador Zhang Lin is the one who, or Yang Lin, is the one who actually made the arrangements for us, and obviously the person who is helping us to develop these various projects. One of the major projects that we pursued at the time was funding for the repiping to help us to remove all of those aging pipes that continue to burst consistently. And this grant will go a long way, in part, to assist us with the repiping initiative. In fact, the other active projects that are taking place in Ireland, Ambassador Yang Lin would have spoken about the housing project, the one in Bubi Alley, and there's another one to be started shortly in Jennings. And we all know that the PRC has been easily one of the most significant partners in development for Antigua and Barbuda. They've assisted us in building capacity in practically every area of our development. I mean, you name it, in climate change, in terms of renewable energy applications that have assisted us with, funding for our university, that was a grant, funding for the Sir Richard Stadium, that was a grant, concessional loan, 20-year loan at 2%, with a 5-year moratorium to fund the air and seaports. China has been there for us, and we continue to do all we can to strengthen this bilateral relationship, because it has been a very beneficial relationship for the government and people of Antigua and Barbuda. China has never solicited us to get involved in any geopolitical spat with any country. They understand that we are friends of all, and they accept our philosophy. We share the mutual philosophy of shared global prosperity. And China is not just speaking about shared global prosperity. China has been providing significant funding, even more funding than the World Bank, to assist developing countries globally to build capacity in various areas of the development. So I want to take this opportunity to reassure Ambassador Yang Lin and the government people of the PRC that Antigua and Barbuda will remain a reliable partner of the PRC. And where there are perhaps tensions, geopolitical tensions, Antigua and Barbuda is quite willing to serve as an honest broker to assist in smoothing relations as appropriate, because we have the view that all countries should have very respectful relations, and as far as practicable, should avoid conflicts. You know, it's not in the interest of of humanity for the PRC and other developed countries, or let's say large developing countries and developed countries, to have any conflicts. We're particularly concerned about the relationship between the PRC and the United States, and we have the view that there's significant room for improvement to ensure that these two large economies, the two largest economies on the planet, that they can collaborate and cooperate with each other in the interest of all of humanity. Again, as I said, these geopolitical spats do not create any value. If anything, they destroy value, and they put a lot of us at risk, especially those of us in the developing world. Small island states like Antigua and Barbuda, we suffer disproportionately. So when actions are taken as a result of these geopolitical tensions, they resonate exponentially so, and the impact is disproportionate on our states, and that is why we continue to push for global peace and prosperity. And from that standpoint, we are fully aligned with China. And again, I just want to take this opportunity on behalf of the government and people of Antigua and Barbuda to thank the PRC for this very generous grant of approximately $14 million. And this is something that China has done consistently over several decades. In fact, when we aggregated the contributions that China has made towards the build-out of our socioeconomic infrastructure, I'd say here that it's probably now approaching in the region of about probably close to $1 billion. And we are very happy that China continues to show us full respect, and they're helping us in a very critical area of expanding our socioeconomic infrastructure. And what they're doing here, in essence, is to help us to improve the living standards of our people. We have a philosophy of pursuing resilient prosperity for our people. But clearly, we're so vulnerable, so small, so poor, decades ago, we could not have done it on our own, and this is where we needed the assistance of developed countries and large developing countries like China to help us to build capacity. And China has proven to be a very reliable and true friend of Antigua and Barbuda, and we are certainly very appreciative, and to let them know that we will continue to do all we can to maintain this friendship, to nurture it, and hopefully that this bilateral relationship will continue to go to new heights. And again, we stand ready as a reliable partner to continue to partner with the PRC. So once again, on behalf of the government people of Antigua and Barbuda, I express our significant or our sincere gratitude as we sign off on these two agreements, including the technical cooperation agreement, which will make a grant of $14 million available to the government people of Antigua and Barbuda. Thank you again, Ambassador. Cheers.
Cheers.